Hello everybody, my name is Joseph Ford and this is my very first YouTube video. I'm very excited about doing this. There's a lot of people that have been asking me like, hey, you should start a YouTube channel because I love your shooting style, I love your editing style. So I basically wanted to start this for everyone else that, wanted to get a little insight on how I do things, what I shoot with, and, how I actually work behind a camera. So my first video is basically going to be about everything that is in my camera bag. That is the main thing I take on with me with 99.9% of my shoots. I like to classify myself as a natural light shooter just because I love shooting natural light. I love being outdoors. I love connecting with people outdoors, walking around in downtown or remote locations and just looking to see what we can capture. So without further ado, let me grab my bag and we can get into this video on what I carry with me with every single shoot. My camera bag. I love this camera bag. I can't tell you how great it is. It's comfortable. It holds all my gear that I need for every single photo shoot. One of the great things about this is that it has a compartment at the top that is easily accessible, so you can grab your gear if you have it at the top, just sling it over your shoulder and just grab anything you need out of it. This bag is the medium camo DSLR backpack from Hex Brand. Hex Brand makes great quality stuff. I'll link everything in the description down below so you guys can go check it out and read the reviews for yourself. One of the other things I do like is when I do travel, I like to bring my laptop with me. So it holds my 15-inch MacBook that's right here behind me, my MacBook Pro. It holds that with no problem, very comfortably. It has like a little mesh, like suede inside, so it doesn't scratch up my laptop or anything like that. If you want to put your phone or an iPad in this compartment, it fits it perfectly, won't damage it, and it keeps it out of the way. It also has my tripod straps. I don't normally bring a tripod with me on my locations to shoot or anything like that, but the good thing is it's there whenever I need it. So if I want to switch it up and go do a hike and I want to take photos, it's right there for me. So let's actually get into the bag. Another great thing about this bag is that all the dividers in here are customizable. So you can take them out and put them in different kinds of ways. If I want to bring a studio light with me because I want a certain look, I can definitely fit a full-size Flashpoint Explorer 600 inside here with all my camera gear. Another thing I like about this bag, it has these mesh pockets so I can put like batteries, I can put my memory cards in here, any miscellaneous tools that I need, chargers, and then it has a little pocket right here that I mainly just keep my cleaning cloth. Gotta always have one of these. You never know when you're gonna need it. Alrighty, so to dive into what I use on a day-to-day shoot, let's start with the body of my camera. Sony a7R II. This is an amazing camera. I love this. I used to shoot Nikon. My first camera was a Nikon D5300, and I upgraded to the D800 about a month into shooting. And then once I got better and I started understanding cameras a lot more, I wanted to switch over to Sony. The guys over at Southeastern Camera in Raleigh, North Carolina, his name is Nito, he got me to switch to using Sony. Every time I'd come in there with my Nikon setup, he's like, yo man, are you gonna switch to mirrorless? Are you gonna switch to mirrorless? And I was like, no, I'm good. Next thing you know, I come in there one day and I'm trading in a whole bunch of lenses that I have laying around the house, and I ended up just giving up all that gear and converting over to Sony. It's a 35mm sensor inside. It is 42 megapixels. It has an EVF screen, so when you look in here, you actually get to see what your picture is gonna come out before you shoot. Because one thing I did not like about my Nikon was that every time I take a picture, I take a picture, look at the camera, change settings, take a picture, look at the camera, change settings, just to find my light. And with this, I just look through here, adjust my settings, and I'm ready to go in an instant. So, Sony a7R II, must have. Next, I have my 85 1.4. This lens was the very first lens that I got when I switched over to Sony. When I had my Nikon setup, I had the Nikon 70-200 2.8, I had the 24-70 2.8, I had the 85 1.8, and I had a 24-105, I believe, f4. And when I switched over to Sony, being that it was so expensive, these were my only two pieces of gear that I had in my camera bag at the time. And let me tell you, this lens is basically my main workforce. I never leave the house without this lens, and I always use it in every single photo shoot that I do. A couple of things that I love about this is that just because it goes down to 1.4, the bokeh on here is ridiculous. I would open up my camera to 1.4 and I'd shoot all day and get those smooth, creamy backgrounds that everyone loves. And it's like, ooh, you're a professional. So I don't really consider myself professional. I'm just someone that just loves taking pictures. So the focus ring on here is buttery smooth. It's easy to freaking focus. So with this camera, I can actually enable focus peaking, and then I can start my focus, zoom into your eyes, find focus, and come back out and shoot. This is an autofocus lens, but if you want to, you can switch it between autofocus and manual focus. Another thing I like about this lens is that it has the aperture ring on the lens. Sometimes I want to shoot in aperture priority, so this is very great to use when you want to not worry about the light so much, and you just want to worry about, hey, I want to blow up my background or not. And this aperture ring, I use it all the time. And then you can also have, for you videographers, it has a click on and off for the declick. So if I have the click on, I don't know if you guys can hear it from there, but it has a little click, and then you can click it off to where it's just smooth transitioning. So yeah, that is my 85 1.4. It's the best lens, I'd say, for portraits ever. If you want to be a portrait photographer, you need to get yourself an 85mm lens. My next lens that I use is my 24-70 G Master 2.8. The reason why I love this lens so much is because it's very versatile. When I want to shoot events, or if I want to shoot here in my studio, which is a little bit small, this lens will cover anything that I need. What's great about this is, along with the 85, it also has a focus hold button. Now you can customize this button to whatever you want. That's what I love about Sony, is because you can customize your camera to how you shoot. So here, I normally have it for the eye, autofocus, and continuous mode, so I could never miss a shot. Another thing I love about this lens is it has that 2.8 aperture all throughout the lens, 24-270, and it just makes life that much easier. So if I get in lower light settings, then I can definitely shoot with this in a lower light condition. Another thing that I love about this lens is that it has this little click lock right here on the side, and that basically allows me to, I unclick it and I can zoom in and out however I want, and then when I stow it away, I can lock it, and then I don't have to worry about it twisting and opening up. This lens is very tack sharp. I will include a picture as well of this lens that I had taken with, and it's just one of my go-to lenses whenever I'm shooting studio, or if I'm ever in an event and I just need to bring one lens with me. My next thing I have is my baby. This is my baby. I don't use it as much as I'd like to, but this is my 70-200 2.8 G Master. And the reason why I love this lens so much is that at 2.8, you can, and you zoom in at 200mm, you can get some amazing tight headshots. I love this so much because if I want to shoot something, I see something interesting in the background, and I want to bring that background closer to my model, I'll zoom in to 200mm. If I want to get that buttery smooth look, I can zoom in all the way to 200 and basically blow out the whole entire background while keeping my model tack sharp. The reason why this is great is because, one, it has optical steady shot. So optical steady shot is basically, if I'm shooting handheld, it basically has optical stabilization inside the lens, along with 5-axis stabilization that's already inside the camera. What's cool is that it has an on and off switch, so if you want to use it or not, I normally always just leave it on, and then I have mode 1 and mode 2. Mode 1 is basically shooting from like left to right, the shakiness. Mode 2 is basically that all-around sports. If you're tracking someone, you want it in mode 2 so you can get the ultimate sharpness out of this lens. Another thing I like, it has 3 customizable buttons, vice the one on each of my other lenses. And basically I can set that to whatever I want. Alrighty, so moving on to what else is in my camera bag is you got to have music. I swear, if you ever go to a shoot and you have no music, it's like you're just draining the life out of your whole entire shoot. So I always bring music with me whenever I want to do a shoot because the model feels more comfortable, it gets them into the mood, and then they can really just get into a groove without worrying about, hey, I'm actually doing a photo shoot. So this is a great way to break the ice with your models and liven up your photo shoots quite a bit. The next thing I like using is this little grip that I have right here. This grip is amazing. If I want to shoot horizontally, if I want to shoot vertically, my hands are always comfortable and it's easier for me to stabilize my camera while I'm shooting. The one thing that's great, it has 3 customizable buttons, 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom, and then I have also another customizable button that I use for back button focusing. And that's how I just keep my images tack sharp. I really don't have to keep refocusing all the time, and it's just a great piece of gear to have because when you're shooting, honestly, this is comfortable to shoot. This is not comfortable to shoot. So when I have this attached inside here, I can shoot like this and the pictures come out phenomenally and I'm comfortable when I'm shooting. The next thing I have, if you see, I have these little hooks or these little anchors right here hanging off of my camera. It is for my Peak Design strap. Now this Peak Design strap honestly is the best strap I've ever had in my life. It's easy to adjust. You just pull up on this lever here, you pull up to tighten, you can shut it down, and then if you want to loosen it, you pull down just like that and you're done. For the clamping, it takes about a couple seconds just to hook up your camera and be ready to go. And then when I want to stow it away, I unhook both of these just like that and I'm ready to put all my gear away. It's very lightweight, it's very durable, it has this padding right here that's comfortable around my neck, and the way these anchors are built, it's just easier for me to carry my gear like on the side if I need my hands and I need to show the model like, oh hey, I want you to pose like this or I want you to pose like that. I can sling my camera to the side, do all that, grab my camera, and then get back into my shoot. So that's what's pretty good about that. The next thing I have is my batteries. Sony is known, well, the Sony a7R II is known for crappy battery life. I tell you, I carry around 4 batteries with me all the time, every time I shoot. Now, if you look at my batteries, you'll see that I have rubber bands on them, and this one does not. I was looking up on YouTube to see what's in another photographer's camera bag, and they were basically saying this is what they do to tell if their batteries are exhausted or their batteries are full. So I keep rubber bands in my bag to tie off batteries that are dead, and then the ones that don't have any rubber bands, I know that they're good and I don't have to fumble with putting the battery into my camera, checking to see if it's full or not. It's just an easy way to help speed up my workflow on a shoot. Other things I have in here are my memory cards. I always carry about 4 of them with me on my shoots. You never know when a memory card is going to go down, so it's always good to have backups. The next thing I have is also this lens pen. It comes with a little brush here and then a little like cleaner / polisher right on the other side. And it's just good to get that excess dust off of your camera and you know, keep your camera clean. I have my car charger here for my camera just in case I'm on the road and my batteries are low. I carry this little tool right here. This allows me to take off this mount if I want for my strap, so I can either strap it to, you know, the bottom of this camera, or I can strap it to the bottom of my 70-200. It just makes it easier to interchange. And what I love about this mount is that for my tripod, I can use this to mount my camera to my tripod, and it works perfectly. I don't have to use the regular base plate that comes with my actual tripod. Like I said in here, this is basically my lens cloth. You never know when you're gonna need one, so always carry one of these around just to keep your gear clean. Usually comes with any photographer kit. And then the last thing I carry, or not the last thing, but another thing I carry in my bag is this little, it kind of looks like, you know how when you're a little kid and you had boogers in your nose and you used to go like this to take it out? That's what this reminds me of. So, no, but the reason why I use this is if I'm ever on set and I see something dirty in my camera, I'll take that out, I'll take off the lens cap and just give it a couple pumps inside of this just to make sure my sensor is clean and I don't have any dust getting in the way of my photos. The last thing I carry in my camera bag all the time is my reflector. This reflector is amazing, Road Photography Designs, and it basically has a silver side and then it has a white side. This, I think they call it a soft silver, and it gives just enough strength, or it gives just enough bounce back on the model so that your model doesn't look too harsh in natural sunlight. But this is a great 2-in-1 strip reflector, and I'll link everything in the bio below. So that's everything that's in my camera bag. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got to see what I got to use, and maybe, you know, it'll help you guys kind of structure your bag as well. If you have any other questions, please comment below and ask me. I'll be happy to answer any of the questions. If you have any ideas for other videos that you would like me to do, please let me know that as well, because then again, you know, I am here for you guys. I haven't been shooting that long, but I want to basically give you the knowledge that I've gotten and what works for me as a photographer. So without further ado, that's everything that's in my camera bag. And my name is Joseph Ford with Gifted Mindset.